Did you know that 70% of parents feel overwhelmed by their child's behavior? And if you're one of them, this video is for you. Today, we're going to be going through the real reason your child's tantrums aren't letting up and what you can do to find relief. Before we dive in, do you want more tips to make parenting even better and easier for you? Sign up to my free parenting newsletter. The link is in the description. Every week, I provide exclusive tips and resources for your parenting journey to make life better for you, to have more love and connection with your family, and to enjoy the life that you've brought yourself into. To me, this is one of the best ways to get confidence as a parent, resources, tools, and having a great life. We all had children thinking, wow, what a great opportunity. It's going to be so rewarding. And of course it is. But at the same time, it's really exhausting, no? There's a lot of love, there's a lot of connection, but there's also tantrums, outbursts, and arguments. Because of this, you probably feel helpless. At times, I definitely feel the same. Maybe your child has a fit when they have to leave the park earlier than expected. Or they're melting down over something that might seem like nothing to you, but it seems like the world to them. These moments might leave you wondering, like, why is this happening? And of course, you're looking for the solution. How can I make it stop? After doing a lot of research and having children myself and having a lot of time in the game of parenting, I've realized that this is just a normal part of childhood. This is what they do at different stages of life. And I don't want to disappoint anyone, but if you're having this, it's probably a good sign that they're doing these kinds of things rather than being completely silent about how they feel. Nonetheless, we definitely want to get to the core of the problem, solve it, and have a great harmonious family life. So let's try and figure out, why do they have these tantrums in the first place? Let's take a look at some common triggers and some great ways that you can respond to keep your child validated and acknowledged and keep you sane. The first trigger, it's emotional stress. Adults, kids, we all feel stress and we all get triggered by our stress. Kids, unfortunately, haven't got the experience and the skills to express that in functional kind of ways. It could be, yes, having to leave the park earlier than expected, or it could be big changes as well, like meeting new people, having a change of school, sibling rivalry, things like that. And their way of expressing their overwhelm is through a tantrum or defiance. My 5-year-old is very particular about the socks when she goes to school. If the socks aren't just right, it's likely she's going to have a meltdown. I can't 100% figure out why this is so important to her, but yet I know it is important to her. So rather than dismissing her, I listen to her. Hey, what's wrong? What's going on with the socks? What do you want? At which point she's having a meltdown and she goes, the socks aren't right. They just don't fit well. I don't like it. And I say, okay, cool. Well, would you like to find a pair of socks that fits? And this is, of course, in combination with some soothing and calming. I give her a hug, I look her in the eye, I show her that I care, and I show her that there's an option to solve this problem. When these moments come up, I figured out that I found the barrier. What is going to trigger the reaction? And I solve against that by having prepared the perfect pair of socks the night before. This isn't a one-shot kind of thing. It doesn't work every single time, but I know that I've got a higher chance of success by trying on the socks prior to needing them and making sure that they're the right ones for her, which confirms her belief that they should fit a certain way, they should behave a certain way on her foot, and that she's good to go at the right time when she needs to go to school. By paying attention to the triggers, asking questions, and solving against in this kind of manner, in a preparatory manner, you're going to stop those triggers one by one. Secondly, consider the notion that kids lack self-awareness and the ability to communicate. At a young age, they essentially view life through the lens of themselves and what they want for themselves. They're not really too considerate of the broader picture of things, what needs to get done outside of what they think is important. They're seeking that sense of power and control through doing the things that they do. And if they can't get what they want, this might likely lead to a meltdown, a disruption, a defiance, a disagreement, an outburst. This can be quite easily diffused using the tools that I'm about to outline, and in doing so, we actually increase their vocabulary and their ability to communicate what's going wrong and how they might actually regulate their emotions and solve the problem for themselves in the future. Now, the third reason kids will have these outbursts is they crave connection. And sometimes their way of communicating is through a tantrum. It says, notice me. It says, pay attention to me. I've got something that's important to say, and I want you to listen. Often when parents dismiss, what ends up happening is the tantrum is escalated and goes into a full-blown meltdown, leaving both the parent and the child kind of distraught and leaving themselves in a sense of not really knowing what to do and how to prevent this in the future. If you listen on the first time, let them get it all out, so to speak, then asking qualifying questions like, well, what do you want to do? Where should we go with this? What's the solution that you see we should do? And I can tell you, this sounds very counterintuitive because when you're asking small kids these kinds of questions, you don't expect an adult-like answer. But I tell you, if you start to do this, you will start to get their perspective on what's going wrong, how they feel it should be, and they'll actually communicate better and better with every iteration of this process. These little moments bank up and they start to build the bond between you and your child. They start to build up the trust and the communication factor, and you actually get all of the information that you could ever desire right from their little mouths. It's beautiful. Is a matter of perspective. And initially, you might be thinking a tantrum is just their way of acting out, getting attention, which is true. However, they're also looking for the solution. It's a cry for help, it's a cry for assistance. They need attention and they need you to solve a problem that they've got. Even if it seems menial or just rudimentary to you, it's actually super important to them. Another real life example of this is when my little one, she asks for chocolate. It might be close to bedtime, so it's not really appropriate. And I say, look, it's close to bedtime. I don't even think you should have it. What's her response? She goes ballistic at me, at which time I have to go, okay, come on here, give us a cuddle. I know you really want the chocolate. She might say, yeah, I really wanted the chocolate. I'm so hungry. I can't go to bed without it. I can't sleep. I need my chocolate. At which point I say, okay, come here, give us a cuddle, talk me through it. What's the problem here? Do you think you're missing out? Do you think that you are not deserving of the chocolate if I don't give it to you? What's the problem? And she says, it's unfair. It's not fair. I want to get my chocolate. And I say, you will actually get your chocolate, 100%. You're definitely going to get it. But what's really appropriate for right now? It's late and it's close to bedtime. Chocolate has a lot of sugar in it. It's also got stimulant, caffeine in it. And what that'll do is it'll really impact your sleep. And tomorrow, because you're not slept well, you wake up and you feel really tired, lethargic, and maybe not in the best mood. So which of these two options would you like? Would you like to have the chocolate right now and have a really poor sleep and feel terrible tomorrow? Or would you like to save the chocolate for tomorrow after lunch, say, and then have both the pleasure and the great sleep? Crazily enough, she answers with the second option. In order to pull this off, what I do is I get down to her level. I make sure that it's calm and gentle. Sometimes I do have to put my foot down, but in these moments, what I really want to do is make her feel heard, acknowledged, and validated. Sure, the timing might not be right for different things, and she's really got a heart set on getting the chocolate or having the socks the right way. But what I find really important to smooth things over and to get both the job done and to get her what she wants, which is acknowledgement and attention, as well as maybe the item of interest, is to actually be there for her personally. Have emotional access. Give her the access to my emotional state. Allow her to see that I care, that I'm nurturing, that I'm there for her. When you do this, what it shows is that you care, that you're giving attention, but you're not giving in, that you're not just bowing down and saying, okay, fine, I give up because I can't deal with this tantrum stuff. What you're saying is that, well, I have more knowledge than you and I have a way out of this, which might be a different option than you had your heart set on. But I am going to get you what you want. It's just going to be in a different way. So after getting down and close to them, getting on their eye level, it's about the calming. So I do this through touch, through calm, soothing voice, making sure that they understand that I'm there physically. I'm not checked out. I'm not on my phone while I'm doing stuff with her, that I'm completely engaged and giving her the attention she wants. Once talking through her tantrum phase, I can then start to talk through the solving of the problem phase, the way to live through these different challenges that come up. By bringing down the tantrum response, we can actually have a rational conversation and I can put those ideas forward to her. And I redirect the focus from the problem to the solution. I come in and ask, what's going on? Yep, she gives me the answers, and then I provide some solutions and see which one of those fits her psyche. And with every iteration, with every robust, rebellious feedback loop that I get stuck in where she says, no, that's not good enough, no, that's not good enough, I come back with another idea. I keep coming back with another idea. But I have to be patient with this. You guys need to be patient with this, because if you're not patient with this and you lose your temper, you're right back at the tantrum phase again, and we don't want that. So taking the time to just come back with the redirect to the ideal response, the ideal pathway that you want for your child when it comes to them getting what they want, and explaining things to them and gradually bringing them to the understanding of the best case scenario for all of the different variables. In the case of the chocolate and going to bed late, okay, fine, you will get the chocolate, but right now is not the time. And keep explaining that, keep explaining it. As they react to you in a negative way and say, no, it's not fair, I need to have my chocolate, you go, well, okay, you are going to get your chocolate. What I advise you to do is to protect your sleep. Your sleep's really important, and find different information points, different data points to reinforce the reason why chocolate now is not as good an idea as tomorrow. And keep coming in with new information. As you do this, you're going to feel more robust and confident in your parenting, and that's something we all want here. We want to go to the shops, and if our child has a meltdown, we don't want to look like a fool in front of everyone else. We also want to get the job done, which is buying the things that we need at the shops, and we want them to feel happy as well at the same time. So we want a level of trust, we want a level of integrity, we want a level of communication that brings about a solution for these tantrums as quickly as possible, and to do that, it requires that communication. Of course, in the beginning, when you're trying to reason with a tantrum child, it's not going to work. So you get down to the level, you calm them down, you rationalize with them, and you get them through that process of elimination of the options till you find the solution where they can be happy and calm again in their state that they've come out of. Yeah, tantrums are tough. It's one of those things, right? People have emotions, and sometimes they run free and boom, vomit out of the mouth. Getting to the root cause is really essential in order to create a great loving bond with your child. By understanding emotional stress, communication pathways, and gaps in communication, plus the need for attention, you can really bolster your parenting confidence. You transform your parenting, as a matter of fact. By responding with empathy, clear strategies, and great communication tone, you're going to create an awesome attachment with your child. You're going to create an awesome level of proficiency in parenting itself, and that's a win-win for both of you. Keep the parenting wins by joining my free newsletter. The link is in the description. I go far more into detail than these videos in those newsletters, so check it out down there every single week from me. So sign up now and let's grow together. Now, even better than being able to solve your child's tantrums would be knowing what your kid wants in advance of even them knowing it. So if you want to know more about that, check this video out next.